Welcome to the Hidden Palace with Sky Blaze.
Good morning, afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sky Blaze and this is the Hidden Palace here on Radio Sega. Now, I've had a death headache since last night. For those of you who are new to the show, I do suffer from chronic headaches and migraines. And this one just will not leave me alone, but I'm going to try and carry on regardless. So I'm being powered by caffeine and painkillers. But let's try and do this anyway. Hello to the people who are in the chat today. We've got Doan, Frost Gamer, my husband Greyfall's around, Green Viper is apparently listening in today. Nicholas Mann is around. I'm not sure if Gavy's still around. He might be. Or he might be preparing for Saturday Night Sega later on. But today's topic, what's better than finding a hidden character? Well, how about finding and unlocking a really, really weird character? This episode is actually going to be... I'm probably going to do some more of these, because I found so many bizarre characters in just 2 games. That I think I need to do another episode just to cover some different games, because there were so many in these 2 games. Green Viper's also questioning the idea of Gavi preparing for Saturday Night Sega, because apparently he does not believe in preparation. So, let's start with the big one, Fighters Megamix. It was released on the Saturn in 1997, and you fight with a combination of Virtua Fighter and Fighting Viper characters. But as you can guess from the title and subject of this episode, there are quite a lot of very strange characters which can be unlocked. The most famous of which is the Hornet car from Daytona, USA. Easily unlocked by playing through and completing Course I. The courses for this game are labelled alphabetically from A to I. But there are more than a few others which are very bizarre, including Rent-A-Hero, who is originally from another game of the same name. He uses a similar sort of fighting style to the other Fighting Vipers characters, but has an additional handicap in the form of battery life. Above his health bar sits a number of batteries. If they all run out, then Rent-A-Hero shuts down and he automatically loses the round. So, kind of a built-in handicap if you're facing somebody who's, like, crazy good at the game, I guess. You might force them to use this character. Oh, and my friend Multiclass Geek has joined the chat again. Hello! There's quite a number of other weird characters in Fighters Megamix, but I'm going to start with some music. There's loads of requests in this episode, actually, so unusually for the Hidden Palace, but this block's going to contain the first one of those requests. But first of all, we've got from Ben Briggs and Prototype Raptor, Rolling Start, Daytona, USA, which is from the Vroom remix album. And then we've got from Manx TT Superbike, Sheep on the Run, which was requested by Electric Boogaloo. So enjoy those, and I'll speak to you guys again after the break.
Rolling Start! The best Sega music, live shows, and the chance to request your favorites. This is RadioSega.net.
And we are back. And that was Manx TT Superbike, Sheep on the Run, requested by Electric Boogaloo. Green Viper's saying that he thinks that's the only song that people can recall from Manx TT Superbike. And Callum says, this is true, I've probably heard this in a couple of my nightmares before. I don't think it's that bad. It's not like Splashwave 93 levels of bad. Anyway, before that we had Ben Biggs and Prototype Raptor Rolling Start Daytona USA from the Vroom remix album. Right, where were we? Next is a couple of characters who have appeared in playable format in one other game apart from Fighters Megamix. We're talking about Bark and Bean, who were first seen in Sonic the Fighters. Those two can be unlocked after playing through the Muscle section of the game, and to better suit the other fighters, they've been rescaled to match human proportions. Now, that's just as well, because fighting game fans will be aware that if you have a very small character going up against much bigger characters, you have like a hitbox problem, where it's much harder for the normally proportioned characters to hit the smaller character, and gives the smaller character a pretty big advantage. Notoriously, Soul Calibur 4 had this issue with Yoda. There's a few other examples as well. Where was I? Sorry, I did say painkillers today. My brain is completely fried. Right, so Bark and Bean in Fighters Megamix has alternate costume. Bark has a Santa-like outfit, while Bean appears as a blue colour scheme, making him resemble one of the characters he was originally based off, from Dynamite Ducks, a character called Bin. Hopefully not as in the type of bin that you put your trash in. At least I hope not. Now on to... well, we're starting to get really out there here, guys. The next one is the AM2 logo. That's right, you too can beat the snot out of your opponent while playing as a stylized palm tree. So if you want to unlock this awesome character, well, I hope that you have a very comfortable seat and masses of patience, because you have to have clocked in a grand total of 84 hours playtime in Fighters Megamix in order to unlock it. And then you can select it by moving your cursor to Kuma-chan and pressing the Z button. Yeah, 84 hours. That's quite a long time. I mean, I haven't managed that on some of the RPGs I've played. Granted, most RPGs have gone well over that, but point stands. Frost is saying Sonic the Fighters is Honey's from Fighting Vipers self-insert fanfiction. There was Honey the Cat was a deleted character from Sonic the Fighters, wasn't she? Honey from Fighting Vipers as a cat in Sonic the Fighters, only there was a deleted character. I seem to remember covering that in a previous episode. But as I said, my brain is porridge at the moment, so... Callum's saying, I remember I used to leave my system on just so I could clock in the hours to get the character. That's quite clever if you could do that, just leave it on the title screen or so, on the character select screen or something, and just turn the TV off. There you go, problem solved. Let's have some more music then. So, from SegaCon, the Best of Sega Game Music Volume 1, we've got Strange Duck from Dynamite Ducks. And then after that, we've got Sonic CD, Palm Tree Panic. Do you see what I did there? Ha 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 ha. So, enjoy those, and I will speak to you guys again after the music break.
listening to Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
are back, and that was Sonic CD Palm Tree Panic from the Japanese version of the soundtrack. Well, Japanese and European version. Before that we had SegaCon, the best of Sega Game Music Volume 1, Strange Duck Dynamite from Dynamite Ducks. Callum was saying that Fighters Megamix may be one of his favourite fighting games of all time, but he doesn't think he could actively play it for 84 consecutive hours. Yeah, I don't think that fighting games are really the sort of game that lends itself to kind of racking up that sort of amount of time naturally, if you like. And Doan's saying Steam trading cards are farmed by leaving your PC on and going for a walk, whereas play coins are farmed by taking a 3DS on a walk. Games are healthy. Oh dear. Right then, let's get back to what I'm supposed to be talking about. So, if a palm tree is not weird enough of a fighting character for you, how about a haunch of meat? Yes, I'm introducing Mr. Meat, for now. Insert your own jokes here. A hovering piece of beef with disembodied hands and feet, sort of like the Rayman character design, only it's a chunk of beef. You get to unlock this protein-packed powerhouse by booting your game up 30 times or more. Then, in the Fighter Select screen, move your cursor over to Kuma-chan, press X, and then select to play course I. I got nothing. But it gets worse. Lastly, we have Deku, who is a green bean with a sombrero. A green bean wearing a sombrero. Wow, Japan! I don't even know. A palm tree, a piece of meat, and a green bean with a hat. I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, Deku can be unlocked by completing the Dirty Fighter section. This just gets worse, doesn't it? And you can get a few interesting surprises should you be willing to let someone knock your hat off. There's a Granny Weatherwax joke in here somewhere. If you get that, then congratulations, you're as nerdy as I am. The default costume has a bird under the hat who squawks during your victory pose if you win. Oh my god. The alternate costume houses a Sega Saturn logo under the hat, which makes a weird vibrating noise, which apparently is taken from Sonic the Fighters and is listed as SE number 30 in the Sonic Gems collection. Should that piece of information interest you and you want to go and have a listen to it. Alright, and no one's saying was someone hungry when they came up with this game. I don't know, possibly. They just had beef and green beans for dinner? I have absolutely no idea. And Multiglass Geek saying possibly shades of Samba de Amigo. Was Samba de Amigo after that, though? Was somebody... I don't know. Brain porridge. Let's move on, shall we? So, because Frost Gamer mentioned Honey earlier, let's have an actual track from Fighters Megamix for the first time. So from Fighters Megamix we've got Honey's stage theme, and then after that we've got from Climax Landers or Time Stalkers, depending on which region you're in, we've got The Yogurt is Transforming, a track that was requested by Doan. So enjoy those, and I'll speak to you again after the break when we finally move on from Fighters Megamix characters and to a different game. So enjoy that, and I'll speak to you after the break. And we are back. And that was Climax Landers / Time Stalkers The Yogurt is Transforming, which was requested by Doan2300. And before that we had Fighters Megamix Honey. Doan's, because I was saying about my brain being porridge, Doan's saying, I'm remembering the old anti-drugs advert where you can't go and pick out a second brain from the shop if you ruin yours. And the brain shop looks like a deli counter for zombies. Why can't I pick out a second brain if I ruin mine? Get on that, science! What's the hold-up? But mostly, I just like my Ghost in the Shell style full cyborg replacement, please. Because this body is broken, I would like a new one. Okay, let's actually get on with what I'm supposed to be talking about. I mean, I'm trying my best to ignore the terrible puns that are going on in the chat right now. But yeah, finally moving away from Fighters Megamix and onto the Sega CD and Eternal Champions 2, which is also known as Eternal Champions Challenge from the Dark Side or Eternal Champions Mega CD, depending on who you ask. And starting with the somewhat human characters, we have Senator, a politician who's glaring angrily at you, holding a vote badge in the match screen before the fight starts. The special attacks of the Senator include throwing rosettes at your foe, and one where he opens his wallet and fires a credit card at you, and shakes your opponent down for all their money, which flies into his wallet. Finally, he pulls a Nixon reference by showing a peace sign to the screen and saying, "I am not a crook," and then turns invisible? Okay. When you win a round, he'll do one of two things. Either he'll shed his jacket and pop on a fishing hat and pull out a fishing rod, or he'll wear a hat with the American flag decorated on it and pull out a small flag while a brief bit of the Star Spangled Banner plays. Alright then. Next up we've got Thanatos, who is a reference to the Greek god of death, and is dressed like the Grim Reaper, bizarrely, even carrying a scythe, which is not how he's depicted in Greek mythology, but never mind. Special abilities of Thanatos include teleportation, firing projectiles from the end of his scythe, dropping a ball of fire onto the floor in front of him, which shoots up into the sky, and lastly, flying across the screen in a similar way to how Raiden does from Mortal Kombat. Win a round as him, and he'll show off a noose that he had hidden up his sleeve. Wow, that escalated quickly. Yeah, Thanatos is a bit weird, but mostly the Senator is the one that's making me go, but what? But never mind. Not anywhere near as bizarre as, like, floating haunch of beef or AM2 logo. So let's carry on anyway. Let's have some more music, shall we? So from Guardian Heroes, we've got Jazzy Sabotage, requested by Multiclass Geek. And then from Eternal Champions on the Mega CD, we've got Hidden Stage number 2. So enjoy those, and I'll speak to you guys again after the music break. And we are back. And that was Eternal Champions Mega CD, Hidden Stage 2. And then before that we had from Guardian Heroes, Jazzy Sabotage, requested by Multiclass Geek. Right, on to the final really weird ones. Starting with Crispy the Chicken. Yeah, that's right. You play as a chicken. Less than half the height of a normal character, Crispy pecks, kicks and flaps at the opponent and can fire eggs at them. Because, alright then. If you think that's bad, there is Slither the Snake. They sit even lower to the floor and can launch at their opponent, bite the ankles or spit venom at them. They can also make themselves into a hoop shape to move about or spin their tail like a helicopter. What? What about Monkey? Zuni throws fruit at your opponent. It could be worse. At least it's just fruit and not something browner. They can also cling to you and claw at your face. If that's still not enough, how about Hooter the Owl? This owl will dash at you around knee height, and when you win the round, their head will rotate 360 degrees several times before popping on a pair of shades and giving you the thumbs up. Okay. I love owls, by the way, so this idea really appeals to me, because owls are brilliant. I should have made my Hidden Palace character an owl, but Finiku did a really good job with making me into a vulture in that, so I'll take it. I look pretty good as a vulture, I think. And vultures are awesome. Right, the final one. Yappy the deranged-looking chihuahua. Oh god. Yappy will leap up and bite your face, damage you with its bark and kick clods of dirt into your face. At least I hope it's just dirt. Each of the hidden characters in this game can be unlocked with a button combination input at the final statistics screen. I can say words. There are a few more hidden characters, but they're fairly normal by comparison, so I'm not really going to cover them here. But yeah, out of the hidden characters in this, I think Hooter the Owl is probably my favourite. Right. Frost saying something browner would be a crap fate for the opponent. Oh dear. And Ravseek saying Eternal Champions is class. Eternal Champions are, well, both of them are great games. They're quite hard if you're playing against the computer though. Because unless you get really, really good, the computer just wipes the floor with you. And Doan's saying Chihuahuas are pretty scary. Yeah, they're like tiny balls of rage. Sometimes it's like the smaller the creature is, the more like concentrated their rage is. I was once walking in a park and I saw this tiny Yorkshire Terrier running up to this a Sheltie, which is like a half-size rough collie. And they was going like, bark, 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 I am terrifying! And the Sheltie was just looking at it as if to say, really? Really? It amused me anyway. Let's have some more music then, shall we? So from Scud Race, we've got Merry Maze, which was another request from Electric Boogaloo. And then after that, we've got from Super Monkey Ball 3D, Fight 1 Blue Harbour, which was requested by Nicholas Haman. So enjoy those, and we'll be back after the break for Chiptune Corner.
listening to Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Company will slope arms by numbers. Squad 1. Company will order arms by numbers. Squad 2. Company will order arms. Order. Squad 3. Company will present arms. Present arms. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1.
We are back. And that was Super Monkey Ball 3D Fight 1 Blue Harbour, which was requested by Nicholas Haman. And then before that we had Scud Race Merry Maze, which was requested by Electric Boogaloo. Right, on to the Chip Tune Corner then. One of the... a lot of you will probably be aware by now that I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. And one of the interesting things about the Doctor Who community is that it has quite a lot of musicians in it. There's even a kind of specific subgenre of music called Trock, or Time Lord Rock, which is songs about the show. And quite a lot of those musicians got involved in electronic music because of Doctor Who's iconic and otherworldly electronic theme tune. Now, I honestly can't remember if I featured the artist for this, Dr. Octrock, before. My spreadsheet suggests that I haven't, but there is some stuff missing from it, so I could be wrong. But because I'm unwell and I want to play it, I'm going to play it anyway. So this is Dr. Octorok doing a 16-bit cover version of the Doctor Who theme. So, enjoy that. Let me know what you think. And I'll speak to you guys again after the music break. And we're back. And that was Dr. Octorok, the Doctor Who 16-bit cover version. The thing I like about that is it actually includes the middle 8 section, which quite a lot of versions of the theme don't do. And again, if you know what the middle 8 of the Doctor Who theme is, then you are as nerdy as I am. Congratulations. Or nearly as nerdy as I am. Multiclass Bleak saying, oh, this is the Murray Gold version. I was expecting OG Radiophonic Workshop. There are some of those kicking around, but the problem with them is that the audio quality isn't great. I did try and find a better quality version, like an 8-bit cover, but with my brain in the state it is, I just could not at the moment. At some point I'll try and track down another cover with decent quality of the old version of the theme. Right, thanks to everybody who's tuned in this week, and thanks for bearing with me as headaches and painkillers make my brain completely fail. So thanks to Multiclass Geek, Electric Boogaloo, Frost Gamer, Nicholas Aman, Doan, and everybody else, Callum, and everybody else who's tuned in this week. Whether or not you're participating in the chat or if you're just hanging out and retweeting or liking stuff on the Twitter feed. Thanks as always to Twinny, who's been doing a superb job on the social media as always. Frostgamer recently suggested that I cover TV show tie-in games for a future episode, so I've been doing a little bit of research on that. So you might see that either next week or in a future episode. Green Viper and I have also been working on getting past episodes uploaded to the media section and podcast streaming sites. So hopefully that'll be sorted out at some point in the future. As usual, if you want a topic you want me to cover on Hidden Palace, you can contact me through Twitter, where I am at Blazing Skies, or on the Radio Sega Discord, where I'm Skyblaze. Or you can reach me through the Radio Sega Twitter or Facebook pages. I've been Skyblaze and this has been the Hidden Palace here on Radio Sega, so one last track to go out on. From Sonic & Knuckles, we've got the Death Egg Zone theme. And thanks to Frost and Electric Boogaloo, who's hoping that I feel better soon. Thanks, guys. I'll be okay. I'll just need a lot of sleep, I think. So, take care, everyone. Good night. I've been Skyblaze, and this has been the Hidden Palace here on Radio Sega. Good night, everybody.
Enjoyed the show? Check out the full Radio Sega live schedule at radiose.ga/shows. Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.